This is Matt Furring, Two Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Frank Smith. Frank, we're here, a huge fight week. Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. How excited are you? It's finally here.
Yeah, delighted. You know, it's a massive show, massive fight Saturday night, and a lot of work's gone into it. And you know, it's come around quite quickly actually. The work and the effort that went into making it happen. Now it's finally here. It's a massive night.
Do you think on sort of the end of the season, you think this would be something that would sell out Wembley if we had the time to do it and the preparation? This all seems to have happened. Obviously, it took a couple of months, but this is bigger than an O2 Arena fight now.
Yeah, but we spoke about this at the start. Obviously, time of the year, you can feel it yourself. It's not the warmest right now, and the weather's never quite so good in the UK in October. So I think time of the year. Look, if this was in the summer, we 100% would have done it in a stadium. But you know, the key was getting this fight on, making it happen. And who knows? Maybe we see a rematch at Wembley or Tottenham or a stadium in the UK.
With the build-up to this fight, we've seen a lot of antics, mainly from one side of the fight, eating stuff and things like that. Chris Eubank Jr. has been doing a lot of trolling. Does he potentially risk making himself look stupid if there is a mistake on the scales or anything like that?
Look, you know, for all this, ultimately, he's always been like this, Chris, and he's a professional. So, you know, for all the videos you see, it's not like he's not training. It's not like he's not got a plan. But you know, it's all part of the show.
Chris Eubank Senior, he's come out recently again and said, boycott this fight. £3 a difference. I know it's Junior who signs the contract and not him. But is this all part of the build-up, part of the magic, or do you think there is genuine concerns there from him?
Look, you know, in terms of Chris Senior's view, you know, I'm sure he has. You know, he has his own opinion on things. You know, ultimately Chris Jr. is the one getting in there and making the fight, and you know, it's he's the one getting in there. He's the one doing the weight. He's the one who's, you know, going to take a safe plan to do it. So, you know, I can't really speak on ultimately what he's saying. But you know, of course, he can say what he needs to say. But Junior is the key person because he's the man who signed the contracts. He's getting in the ring. You know, everything's being done safely, as he always has. Like I say, he's a true professional. For all these things you see online, he's a real professional.
Has there been any communication in relation to him saying, "I'm not going to attend the fight" or anything like that? Can we fully expect to see him there in attendance?
I don't know. Maybe, let's see. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure whether he'll be there. Let's see.
Right, breaking news sort of earlier on today that I seen. I know it's not out of your mouth, and I know you're going to tell me you can't speak for Eddie, but he says the Fury AJ fight's definitely off now, done and dusted. Why has it come to this? Everything seems to be running along swimmingly. Good relationship with Queensbury. Everyone was talking. Why the halt now?
I don't think the good relationship with Queensbury part doesn't change. Ultimately, you know, we were having good, positive discussions. But I think the key is we're not going to be sort of demanded to by a guy who changes his mind every day. And you know, he's the same with every situation, isn't he? And like, I know people will laugh, but like Tyson Fury, ultimately, one day he's retired, one day he's fighting this person, one day he's fighting that person, one day it's too late, one day he'll extend the deadline. Like, you know, it's all. It's the Tyson Fury game, and ultimately we won't be demanded to by Tyson Fury.
So if this fight now it's not happening, who's that on? Whose responsibility is it doesn't happen?
Look, I think, you know, ultimately we wanted to work to try and make it happen. You know, so it wasn't like we weren't trying to make the effort. We were having constant dialogue. But like I say, we're not going to be demanded to. These things take time. This took 6 or 7 weeks to make. It's not just like, there you go, there's a contract, sweet, let's sign it, mate. You know, so you know. Ultimately, I think the easiest way is let's just focus on their respective fights. Tyson Fury is going to go do what he's going to do, and we move on. And maybe, hopefully, in the future, we can make it happen.
Joyce has recently come out and said he's free for a date in September with this new working relationship we've got with Queensbury. December 17th, I think the date was, after his bulldozing performance over Parker. That's a great fight to make. Is that something that Anthony Joshua would be interested in, you think?
Maybe, but he should fight Tyson Fury, shouldn't he?
Who should? Joshua?
Joe Joyce should fight Tyson Fury.
Shouldn't Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, but Joe Joyce at the same occasion should fight Tyson Fury.
100%?
Yeah.
So they're both in the same boat?
Yeah, so they're both in the same boat. So that's an easier fight to make with their working relationship with the same promoters.
I like what you did then. Yeah.
Got the same promoters, so it should be easy.
If he fights Manuel Chart, what does that do from the outside looking in for the people who are hoping to get the Anthony Joshua fight? There seems to have been a lot of backlash on Twitter. I think sort of understandably so in terms of calibre of opponent, but he'll be then thinking, well, I'll get that fight out of the way, then I've got the undisputed fight next, which will supersede Joyce's mandatory. Do you sort of, what's your opinion if he fights Manuel Charr?
Great fight. No, look, everyone talks about Tyson Fury. If he fights Manuel Charr, it's a bit of a joke, but completely up to them. Let them do what they want to do. Yeah. They should fight Joe Joyce though. If he wants a really good fight, they should fight Joe Joyce. It should be easy, that one.
You're so sarcastic, I love it. Look, Frank Smith, thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time. It's a huge week. Hopefully we'll catch up later on in the week. I'm looking forward to Saturday night, and I know it's a hard one for you on Saturday, but yeah, cheers for your time, bud.
Good to see you, mate.